Hey folks, it's Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalist, and this video is going to be about choosing the right red dot sight for you. Now, as you see here, I have an Endpoint, but I was especially interested in going through the thought process that I went when making this decision. This is for you if you're buying your first red dot, if you're looking to add one to a long arm that you have, especially if you're not made of money and you're thinking, okay, what is it I can get for a mid-range price? If you're in that position, stick around because I went through that recently and this is the conclusion I arrived to. So basically I was just there. I was looking to get a red dot for an M4 that I have here to put a sight on. You know, I have the backup sights, the iron backup ones, but I wanted a red dot as well. So the thing is this, again, not made out of money. You know, what is it that they can buy for maybe $200, $300? So I started watching all the videos, the reviews in YouTube. You know, people happy with this and that, in the forums as well. What is it that I was, able to get for maybe $200 to $300? I'm not a teams guy. I'm not even a tactical guy that feels better about himself because he bought something fancy or what the military uses. I just wanted something good, reliable. That was basically it, So basically I was leaning towards the Hollow Suns, the Vortex. People were saying these were good red dot sights, good enough. And folks, lots of folks out there happy with those. So I was leaning towards that, and especially money is always a thing. If you can save some money here and there, why not do it? At the same time, I have decades. Unfortunately, it's decades by now, but decades worth of experience with firearms, shooting, trying different equipment, buying different guns. And one of the things I learned, and this is an important lesson for everyone, is buy once, cry once. Right? Sometimes the price seems fantastic, and sometimes the price is indeed fantastic. Sometimes you're paying for something that is extremely durable. It's going to be lasting you a lifetime, and you just spend a few bucks instead of spending much more in some other alternative. So is the Hollow Sun good enough? I even know that certain military of some countries use a Hollow Sun, so maybe it's actually quite good. The reviews were certainly good. Vortex, also good reviews. But when you start reading a little bit more in depth, you end up finding that especially, you know what, guys, in Amazon, read the Amazon reviews whenever you're buying something. And I'm going to be leaving the link for the Endpoints below in case you're interested of getting those in Amazon. And yeah, this is something I bought myself. Just disclaimer in case anyone it wasn't sent to me by Endpoint. This is just what I did with my own money. Even if Endpoint had sent it to me, it wouldn't really change my opinion because this is what I arrived after a thought process. So when reading those reviews, you see a lot of people happy with their Vortex, happy with even with their Bushnell. I think the TSR is Bushnell has a nice red dot as well. People very happy with those. And the Hollow Sun, the Vortex and such. But when you start reading the 1- and 2-star reviews, you start seeing that every now and then someone got a lemon. Someone got something that wasn't right, even not working right out of the box or soon after that, or people that after a period of honest use, maybe abusing it a little bit here and there. And I mean, it's gear, it's stuff that's going to be breaking eventually if you abuse it bad enough. But it was noticeable that there was a little bit more complaints than, for example, with your Endpoints. And yeah, sure, you're thinking, okay, it costs twice as much, right? Yeah, well, yeah, sometimes it's not even twice as much. Sometimes it's $100 or a couple $100 extra, depending on how good a deal you got. I got a great deal for this H2, so that's why I went with this specific model rather than the T2, which has slightly better specs, and especially if you need night vision. So when you realize that there's a point where if you want to have the best, the most durable, the one that is least likely to fail you when you need it the most, it's about buying the more expensive ones. Sometimes there's really not much of an option around that. And I have no problem in going for something that's more affordable. I mean, for years, and you guys watching my videos, reading my articles, or if you read my book as well, you know that I've always recommended the Glock pistol. I think it's no matter how much money you're planning on spending, when everything is taken into account, into consideration, the durability, the reliability, everything taken into account, you cannot buy a better gun for defensive purposes than a Glock pistol. It's still true today as it was a few years ago. It's not about buying the most expensive one, it's about buying the best one. It just so happens that sometimes the best one is also reflected in the price tag. Now, some of them had very cool features. For example, the Hollow Sun, the Vortex had maybe one of the best specs, seemed to be one of the most durable ones, but the duration of the light wasn't nearly as good as the Endpoint. The Hollow Sun had these nice features. One that had a solar panel up here, so it was solar powered, and from a survival perspective, that was quite cool. A solar powered red dot, and it had a motion sensor detector that would turn on when you started moving it. It looked cool as well, but then again, the battery wasn't lasting as much. So maybe you leave it for a couple years and you suddenly need that rifle for defending your family. You get it out and the motion detector failed, as one guy had happened with his Hollow Sun. The motion detector just didn't work. In this case, you don't have to worry about that. And with the Endpoint, it has a 5-year life period with one battery, right? With just one of these, with a common CR 2032, 5 years in the 5 or 7 position. And the camera is not showing it right now, but it's quite visible. You do see that red dot in that position, so it's going to be working. And that's the point. That's why you're buying this thing to begin with. It also has some other nice features. It's very compact. As you can see, it has those windows in the caps, so you can use it even with the caps on, or of course if you want to have the full visibility. But even with the caps down, you can actually use the red dot as well. The toughest one there is, the toughest red dot manufacturer is Endpoint. Giving that a 5-year period, the size, the micro ones are very small, very compact. Just made it for me. I decided it's really worth putting that money in there. Now, Trigicon also makes a nice red dot. The thing is that Trigicon, it's a great brand as well, but they're not as known as Endpoint. Endpoint are basically the guys that invented the game, the red dot sight. So, made in Sweden, outstanding quality. You really cannot beat it. Now, this specific model, this is the H2. There's also the T2, which has better specs, and if you're going to be buying it for the same price, go for the T2. What's the difference with the T2? Well, basically you have that the T2 is for using it with night vision, right? So it's night vision compatible, and you have a couple better specs. You have a better temperature range. With the H2 is from minus 30 degrees to 60 degrees centigrade, and from micro T2 is minus 45 to 71, and water resistance is also better. The H2 is 5 meters and micro T2 is 25 meters. I'm more than happy enough with this, especially because I got it for a great price. Again, I found myself in that position. I was just about to pull the trigger on probably a Vortex. Nice designs, compact as well, very nice, but it's not an Endpoint. It's very nice, but it's not an Endpoint. You're not going to be getting that durability. You're not going to be getting that build standard that you have in those very nicely made Chinese red dot sights that you're going to be getting from the Sweden-made Endpoint. I think I have it here. right? Made in Sweden. Endpoint H2, no mount. I was planning on getting another mount anyway, so, and again, the price was just a little bit of an extra effort, a few $100 more, a couple $100 more than I was, even less than that, than I was planning to spend. Can you really scrounge a few bucks more here and there and get what you know is the best one? I think that's definitely the way to go. Man, I mean, if you're happy with your Vortex, if you had it for years, or your Holosun, or some other brand, and you're very happy with it, leave your experience in the comment section. It's always appreciated. But I think that if you're looking to get a red dot sight, I think that you should make that extra effort so as to invest in a really good one that you can trust your life to over the years. Folks, it's going to be all for now. I'm going to be leaving a link below in case you're interested in Amazon. That's all. See you on our next video.